Live from 12 Studios, this is News 12 at 10.
More Texas businesses allowed to reopen next week, but some still have to keep their doors closed. How the local bar owner is working to get customers back.
And the deadline to fill out the 2020 census less than a month away, where you can be sure you get yours filled out.
And with fall just around the corner, we could see some lower temperatures. Steve's got a look ahead to your weekend. Welcome to News 12 at 10. I'm Dan Thomas.
And I'm Jen Phillips. Governor Greg Abbott is allowing retail stores, restaurants, gyms, and other businesses to increase their capacity starting Monday. But certain businesses, like bars, will actually have to keep their doors closed.
News 12's Mike Rogers joins us now live in the studio. Mike, how is this order going over in Grayson County?
Dan and Jen, it depends who you ask. Manufacturing facilities, museums, and libraries will also be able to open up at 75% capacity on Monday. But one local bar owner I talked to says the governor's order is completely misguided. At Celebration Senior Living Facility in Denison, Governor Greg Abbott's new order relaxing COVID-19 restrictions means the people who live there will be able to see their families.
You know, they're like little kids at Christmas at this point, and it's good to see smiles on their faces.
Starting next Thursday, residents can name up to 2 loved ones to visit. But first, they have to test negative for COVID-19 in the last 2 weeks. Then they can visit one at a time, and they'll have to wear personal protective equipment.
The residents here are super excited to have family to be able to come in and physically visit.
Restaurant owners like MG's Chanel Stiggers says they've been doing extra cleaning and even added sneeze guards.
And we haven't been able to do our all-you-can-eat on Saturdays because of it. Because we just, you know, all you can eat, you tend to sit and you want to eat more and more.
But not everyone is moving forward with the governor's new order.
People are not able to support their families, their employees aren't able to go to work, yet you've got bars inside restaurants that are at a higher capacity than what bars were originally allowed to be open at.
Bill Kennedy is the owner of the 1880 Ice House in Denison. His bar has a 6,000 square foot patio he says has plenty of room for social distancing. But under the governor's new order, his doors remain closed.
I think there's an idea that the bars are crowded and tightly populated and dense, but I think that's really the trend is moving away from that.
Bill Kennedy tells me his bar is working on adjusting their licensing with the Texas Alcohol Beverage Commission. He hopes to reopen by October 1st, but like all bars in Texas, since 51% of their revenue comes from alcohol sales, they'll remain closed for now. Live in studio, Mike Rogers, News 12.
All right, thank you, Mike. Well, next week, Texas reports the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases at schools. The health department said more than 2,000 public school students have tested positive out of the 1 million who've been on campus this school year. Around the same number of teachers have tested positive. Next week, they will be able to break those numbers down by school district.
Well, let's turn now to our COVID-19 Texoma numbers. A new death reported in Texoma today. A man over the age of 65 in McCurtain County. Grayson County added 4 new active cases. Lamar County adding 13. But with their recoveries, their active total actually dropped by 3 today. Several counties saw active case increases in the double digits today as well. Pontotoc County reporting 18 new cases. McCurtain County adding 15. Carter County adding 10. As of now, Texoma's active case count stands at more than 1,000. There have been more than 8,600 total cases, with at least 7,400 of those listed as recovered. And let's get a check of the weather now. A cool-ish night with some spots already in the 60s.
Can't fully commit to that just yet. Chief Meteorologist Steve Lenore here with a look at just what it's going to be like in the morning.
I'm not sure if that word is hyphenated, but it feels pretty good out there either way. We have a mostly clear sky. And what is making for the coolish condition, we have a light northeasterly wind that is gradually drying the air out. It's doing so at a leisurely pace, but you'll notice the difference over the weekend, that is for sure. So right now you can see 64 in Ada, 68 Tishomingo, and 66 in Antlers. On the cool side, 72 Sherman and Denison. And these numbers are generally about 4 or 5 degrees cooler than last night due to the fact that the air is drier. It cools off more efficiently. That's the long and short of it. Now in the morning, most of us at least down into the mid-60s. Some of you watching may get into the 50s over the afternoon hours tomorrow. A beautiful sunny day with highs in the 80s. But, you know, we've got some wildfire smoke creeping into the forecast, and I have a brand new smoke forecast to go with everything else when I come back.
Wow, thank you, Steve. Well, the United States Census count deadline is right around the corner, but for some parts of Grayson County, their questionnaires have yet to be turned in.
News 12's Nina Quattrino spoke with the local census team. She joins us now live in the studio. Nina, where does Grayson County fall compared to other areas?
Jen, Dan, the Census 2020 response team I spoke with says Grayson County is currently tied with Dallas County at 62.7% of the population that has responded. And they say there's lots of factors for that number being so low.
They're basically going to get asked their address, their age, their ethnicity.
I mean, I can't remember a time when someone said, okay, that's it, I'm not doing it. They say, oh, that's it, and we say that's it.
Dana Tennyson and Andrea Williams McCoy worked together on the Grayson County United States Census 2020 response team. They say ultimately the reason for the census count boils down to money. The more people who turn in their census, the more money goes to the county, and roughly $200 million are at stake for Grayson County.
It gives us a meaningful and accurate and stronger voice in how those tax dollars that are at stake are actually spent and where they go.
Williams McCoy says that's money that could potentially go into county roads, schools, and healthcare for the next decade. And because Grayson County includes all kinds of living, from urban to suburban to rural, and all of it is rapidly growing, it's important everyone is included in the count.
The enumerators, the people that walk door to door, knock door to door, weren't able to do that for the longest time. And so there was kind of a lull for quite a while where people just kind of forgot about the census.
Dana Tennyson says as of Thursday, the northwest part of Grayson County, which includes Pottsboro and Sherwood Shores, has a 47.4 response rate in comparison to the northeast Grayson County, like Denison, which has a response rate of 76.4.
People in this world we live in today and this whole transition of going online and getting information about yourself, people are just, they're more leery of it. And it's understandable.
And in addition to COVID-19, both Tennyson and Williams McCoy say scammers have made people nervous about filling out their Census 2020 survey. They say the survey takes less than 10 minutes to fill out and can be done online at my2020census.gov. And you can find information about a census event in Grayson County on our website, KXII.com. Reporting live in the studio, Nina Quattrino, News 12.
Well, a federal judge has rejected a lawsuit challenging Oklahoma's absentee voting rules. The state currently requires absentee voters to have their ballot notarized or include a photocopy of their ID. The state's Democratic Party filed the suit saying the rules created a barrier for voters. The judge rejected the case, saying preventing voter fraud outweighs the burden placed on the voters.
Well, Chesapeake Energy is laying off about 200 employees. That number represents 15% of the workforce. Chesapeake CEO Doug Lawler blamed the oil and gas market for the need to make the cuts. The layoffs are mostly, although not exclusively, in Oklahoma City. Impacted employees would be informed tomorrow morning by phone. And this morning, 3 family members charged in the death of a 3-year-old Wilson boy in July appeared in court for a preliminary hearing. The boy's father, 23-year-old James Darren Smith, his aunt, 29-year-old Shannon Smith, and her husband, 24-year-old Frank Smith, all face felony child abuse charges. Court documents state the boy's father and aunt severely beat the boy. His uncle failed to protect him from the abuse suffered in the home they shared. During the hearing, family and friends gathered outside of the courthouse to support the boy's mother, Kyla Burgess.
He has aunts and uncles and grandparents who love and miss him, and there's nothing we can do to make the pain go away.
Well, the accused are due back in court next month for a second preliminary hearing. If convicted, they face up to life in prison.
Well, a man facing child sex charges in Carter County will stand trial in Atoka for 6 more charges later this month. 47-year-old Evan Granger was charged in Carter County last year after police say he performed sexual acts with a 10-year-old around a decade ago. The victim came forward after another victim reported sex crimes that happened with Granger in 1995 in Atoka County. Granger's next hearing in Carter County is in December. If he's convicted on that charge, he'll get at least 25 years in prison, possibly life without parole.
It's official. The Dwight D. Eisenhower Memorial is officially open. I'll take you to the soggy dedication ceremony in Washington, D.C.
All right, can't wait to see that. Plus, we're checking out today's almanac, running close to average, but overnight lows going to take a dive. We'll tell you how cool it's going to be and how soon. Well, it wasn't the kind of weather that they had hoped for, but for those who attended tonight's dedication of the Dwight D. Eisenhower Memorial in our nation's capital, the weather just didn't seem to matter.
Our Washington News Bureau reporter Ted Fioraliso was there tonight, joins us live with the highlights. Ted.
Well, Jen and Dan, neither the rain nor the pandemic could stop tonight's dedication ceremony from happening. And this is a project, as you know, that is 21 years in the making. The red ribbon may have been a little soggy, but the cut of Senator Pat Roberts' scissors signifies the end of a decades-long bipartisan accomplishment.
For me, as a small-town Kansas boy, I never dreamed I would one day dedicate a memorial to Kansas's favorite son.
During his keynote address, Roberts described the different features of the memorial. On one side, visitors will find a statue of Eisenhower as president in the Oval Office. On the other, Eisenhower as Supreme Commander of the Allied Expeditionary Force. Across the length of the memorial, a poignant, hand-drawn tapestry of the Normandy coastline, the site of the D-Day invasion. Eisenhower's grandson David told family stories.
Not once did I doubt his greatness, knowing his extraordinary mind and spirit.
And former Senator Bob Dole appeared on video and received a warm applause for his message.
I'm really proud to call General Eisenhower, President Eisenhower, Major Eisenhower, whatever, my hero.
A lot of Kansas representation tonight, but we do know how important Eisenhower is to Texas and Denison. Now, at the end of the ceremony tonight, Senator Roberts handed the keys to the memorial over to Interior Secretary David Bernhardt, officially making this the 420th unit of the National Park Service. Reporting live tonight in Washington, Ted Fioraliso, News 12.
And I can't wait to check it out in person.
I cannot wait to go.
Well, local farmers got together today to help out families in need. Just how many boxes of food they gave out and how long some people had to wait for it.
Well, it's a true shame we have to roll out this new map. It's the smoke forecast. All that stuff coming out of the wildfires in the west. Some of the newest technology could give us an idea how much of that will be in Texoma skies this weekend. We'll have that for you and word on a new tropical depression when I come back.